Hi everyone. Our morning class got little interrupted because of the internet issue. Wait. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's begin today's session. Back and neck straight. Just sit up on your mat in any comfortable posture. Back neck straight. Close the eyes and start observing the breath. Natural flow of your breath. As you inhale and as you exhale, just become aware of the breathing process. Bring your mind back to this moment, the reality of the moment, that is your breath. And when you feel ready, you can naturally shift to the practice of Puraka and Rechaka. Slow, long, and deep inhalation. Slow, long, and deep exhalation. Just make sure that there is no force or pressure that is being applied on the breath. Allow your mind to relax completely for the breath. And prepare yourself to chant Om 3 times, followed by 3 shantis. Exhale completely, and then inhale for Om. Shanti. Shanti. Just feel the vibration. Slowly join your palms together and rub them together. Generate heat between both the palms. And very slowly place them near your eyes. And then, while looking at the palms and blinking, just open up your eyes, come back with a big, big smile. And namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's session. So, we have done the sectional breath and we have done yogic deep breathing. So, like these are the pre-practices of pranayama. Yes. So now let's move to the next pre-practice of pranayama. You must have heard of this a lot, nadishodhana. So this is not a pranayama, this is a pre-practice to pranayama. I've written it in the chat box also, Nadishodhana. Again, like we discussed in one of the pranayam classes, that when you are doing pranayam, the nadis, there is no blockage in the nadi. Okay. So the energy blocks that we have generally in our nadis, those are cleansed even before the practice of pranayam. And how is that done? Through the practice of nadi shodhana. Okay. So the practice of nadi shodhana and different Hatha yogic texts also, you will find that this practice is given as a pre-practice to all the pranayams. Okay, so first you will find the mention of nadi shodhana, and then the chapter will elaborate on the various techniques of the pranayams that are there. Okay, so as the name suggests, nadi shodhana, cleansing of all the nadis. We discussed that there are 72,000 nadis in the body. Yes? And each of these nadis, so they need to be cleansed. Cleansed in what manner? If there is any blockage, it needs to be removed so that the energy can flow properly through the nadi. Okay, so it is a process in which you are cleaning the nadis. Okay, so that energy is able to flow freely, and hence you are able to see the difference that takes place when there is proper flow of energy in the nadis. Okay, so generally what happens is most of us have some blockage or the other in the nadis. Okay, we don't realize it, we don't recognize it. Eventually, what happens is because of this blockage, a disease comes up on the body. So it's a pranic blockage that takes place. That is why practices like Reiki are very effective. Why? Because they are basically trying to channel some source energy, some energy which is not their own, some, I would say, energy which is always present, but they are transferring that energy to you, which helps you to release that energy blockage, basically. So the work is still being done by the body only, but there is some help that is given to your body. Any healing process that you go through works on the energetic level. Okay, so any sort of healing that you must have heard of till date works on removing that blockage so that the body can heal itself. Okay, so the body has the capability of healing itself. Okay, but sometimes due to some energy blockages, it cannot proceed with that healing process because there is a blockage. Okay, so Reiki practices, all of these things help us to remove those energy blockages so that the body can heal itself. Okay, so same thing we are doing when we practice Nadi Shodhana. Okay, so I will be telling you the technique and all the details. Okay, so let us first begin with the posture. So you do Nadi Shodhana. When you practice Nadi Shodhana, we always have a sitting posture. Okay, so your back and neck should be straight. So you can write this down also. That the posture for this practice is sitting posture. in which your back and neck should be straight and your body should be relaxed. It's up to you if you want to adopt any mudra with the left hand. With the right hand, I will tell you the specific mudra, okay, that you have to adopt. So then the second thing is the contraindication. Who shouldn't do this practice? So if somebody has cold, cough, flu, fever, any of these conditions where the nostrils are blocked, basically when we are working on Nadi Shodhana, we need to inhale and exhale through the nose. So if there is any blockage due to cough, cold in the nostrils, then one should not practice Nadi Shodhana at that point of time. After you are healed, you can go ahead and practice Nadi Shodhana. Okay. So today we are going to do the first stage of Nadi Shodhana, which is also popularly known as Anulom Vilom. Okay. So there is a difference between both these practices. Anulom Vilom is the first stage of Nadi Shodhana. This is the difference, and I will tell you how it is different. So when you are doing alternate nostril breathing or Anulom Vilom, what happens is there is a constant flow of breath that goes on. And same thing with a stoppage in between. So we discussed about kumbhaks. We had a discussion in the beginning sessions only about the practice of internal and external retention. So when you start adding either one of the retentions, generally first we add the internal retention, then we go ahead and add the external retention. So when you add the internal retention, that is when the practice turns into Nadi Shodhana. Before that, it is called Anulom Vilom. So this is a big difference between both the practices because they are generally used interchangeably. That is why I'm clarifying this thing for you guys, that they are not the same practice. They are, Nadi Shodhana is the extension of Anulom Vilom. Okay. Then next thing, what is the hand posture? So back and neck is straight, body is straight completely. Then what I am doing is basically my left hand is placed on my knee. Like when we sit in any comfortable posture, close our eyes, the hands are placed on the knee. So you can go for any mudra with your hands when it comes to the left hand. Okay. When it's to the right hand, I will tell you the specific position. So when you bring up your right hand, you can go for two mudras over here. Both of them are good and both of them have slightly different benefits because they are like formed differently. So both have different benefits, but for Anulom Vilom, you can, and Nadi Shodhana, you can use either one of them, whichever you're comfortable with. So the first one is the pranayama mudra, in which you will fold the first two fingers, place them on the root of the thumb like this, and then turn this around, and then use the thumb and the ring finger, or if you prefer, you can fold this a little bit and use both the ring finger and the little finger to close the left nostril, and right nostril is close to the thumb. Okay. So the position of the hand one is this. Okay. And whenever you are going for any mudra close to your nose, what happens is we generally go for this position. What you have to do is bring the elbow close to the body, okay, so that your shoulder can relax. Now that my shoulder is relaxed, I can hold this mudra for a longer period of time. If my hand will remain this way, then I won't be able to hold the mudra for a long period of time. Okay. So first adjustment, just make this adjustment. Okay. Second mudra that you can adopt, same hand position is there. My shoulder is relaxed, elbow close to the body. I can place the first two fingers that I folded in this form over here, where my eyebrow, I can place them on my eyebrow center, and then once again, same thing remains. These three fingers, my thumb, my ring finger and little finger, they remain loose over here. Okay, so this. You can either go for this or you can go for this, however you are comfortable. Okay, so you guys can go ahead, try this. Okay, some people do not feel very comfortable while forming the pranayama mudra, so they can go ahead and form. What is this mudra? This is called the Vishnu mudra. Okay, I will write down the name of both of them. It's also called the Pranav mudra. The first one that I performed, and the second one is called Vishnu mudra. So one more thing that I would really like to clarify is that some people change their hand. Once the right hand gets tired, they form the same mudra with the left hand. So you don't have to do that. Okay. So why? Because I will tell you the reason for this. So you will only form the Pranav mudra with the right hand always. If you get tired, you can relax your hand, take a few breaths till your shoulder relaxes, and then once again form this mudra with the right hand. Okay. So why specifically the right hand? So for that, we will go one step back and say that as per yoga, as per the understanding of yoga, the five fingers represent the five elements in the body. Okay. So your thumb finger represents the fire element. Okay. So let me write this down also for you. So thumb represents the fire element. Okay. Then we have the index finger, which represents the air element. Then we have the middle finger. It represents the ether, space element. Then we have our ring finger. So ring finger represents the earth element. And last we have the pinky finger. And this represents your water element. Okay. So when we form the pranayama mudra with the right hand, we are basically suppressing or like locking the air element and the space element. Yes. And what remains free is the fire element and the earth element and the water element. So once again, in philosophy, we haven't reached the topic of Hatha Yoga, but in philosophy also, I will be telling you when I discuss Hatha Yoga about the right and left nostril. So right nostril is generally called the Pingla Nadi. I will not write it down over here. I will give you all the details in philosophy class. So this is the sympathetic nervous system. This is actually representing the sun. Okay. This right nostril represents the sun and left nostril represents the moon. Okay. So right fire is always closed with fire. Okay. And the cool element is because left is considered to be very calm, cool. So moon, when we see the moon, that is the feeling that we generally derive. So that should always be closed by either the earth element or the combination of earth and water element, both of them. Okay, so if you do from the same mudra with the left hand, you will see that the position is now reversed. So opposite is closing. So water element and earth element will close the right nostril, and the fire element will close the left nostril, which is the opposite. So this mudra is never formed with your left hand. It's always formed with the right hand. Okay. So you can just relax it whenever you feel it's getting too much, and then resume your practice. Any doubt so far in hand position in anything that I have discussed? No? Everybody has understood how they're going to place their hand? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Great. 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 So next thing is, so for today, what we are going to do is we are going to practice two things if we have the time. Wait, let me see. Okay, I think we will have the time. So today we are going to practice two things. One is we are going to breathe through each nostril 5 times. Okay, just normal breathing. And we will close the other nostril when we form this mudra, or in this way when we form this mudra. We're just going to close the for beginning. The right nostril we will close. Practice 5 normal breaths as your breath is going in and coming out. We're going to practice that. Then once the 5 breaths are over, we're going to close the left nostril and practice 5 breaths. Okay. This is the first thing that we are going to do. This is a preparation for Anulom Vilom. Okay. Then we are going to step into the practice of Anulom Vilom. How we're going to do that? So just observe how I'm going to practice this. So just check the demonstration. And while I'm demonstrating, I will also tell you the technique. So once you are relaxed, eyes are closed, you are going to exhale completely and then start inhaling. Close the right nostril and start inhaling through the left nostril. So once you have filled in the breath, you will close the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Okay. After the exhalation is complete, start inhaling through the right nostril only. And then once you inhale, close the right nostril, exhale through the left nostril. This is one round. There is no holding in between. So inhale, exhale, okay. Left, right, right, left. This is one round of Anulom Vilom. Okay. So you're going to go as per your own pace. I'm not going to count. I'm not going to give you any specific that this is how long your breath should be. Naturally, the length of your breath, whatever the length of your breath is, you're going to follow that. Okay. You do not have to force the breath, and there should be no holding when you are doing Anulom Vilom. Also, sometimes what happens is when we are breathing, in between our breath stops, then we breathe again, then we exhale. Okay, so that in between stoppage of breath is also to be avoided. It has to be one smooth flow. Okay, when you inhale. One more thing, where you have to keep your hand when you are closing the nostril. So this positioning should also be clear. So this part of the nostril, like here, my nostrils are over here, but this part of the nose, sorry, this part of the nose where there is this, protrusion, this is like protruding. Yeah. So this part is where I'm going to place my hand very gently and close the nostril. If you place this hand very firmly, what will happen is not only will you close the right nostril, you will also push the nose a little bit. There is going to be an angle, okay, which is formed. And when this angle is formed, then you are doing this, just make sure that you are not holding, like placing the hand that, like, with so much pressure that the other nostril is also being blocked. So very lightly you have to close the nostril, and then very lightly you will change. Very light. Your face should be relaxed when you are practicing this breathing exercise. Any doubts? Is the technique clear? Who will do, who will not do? Is that clear? If so, any of you have cold, cough, fever, do not practice it right now. Uh, So let me go ahead and tell you the benefits before we practice. So there are numerous benefits of Nadi Shodhana. If you go online and look for researches, you will find that multiple researchers have shown that it is helpful in most of the diseases. Okay, if somebody is ill, it is very helpful for them to practice, be it a physical disease, a psychosomatic disease, a mental disorder, whatever they are going through. Anulom Vilom also and Nadi Shodhana. Both of them have a very positive impact on the person. Okay, so on a physical level, your parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system, both these systems are a part of our body, and both of them have their own functions, and both of them are required. So both of them are balanced out because I am breathing alternatively through both the nostrils. So the right hemisphere of the brain and left hemisphere of the brain, both of them are properly activated and balanced when you practice this pranayama. Okay. Hence the both the systems are equally activated also. So earlier when we were discussing about chest breathing. So when we are stressed, the sympathetic nervous system gets activated and it is overstimulated. That is when we say that we are stressed. So this helps you to reduce the stress because now it's balancing both the hemispheres of the brain. Okay. It has shown to give a lot of mental peace, clarity, calmness, a reduction of anxiety, stress in a person, and also on a spiritual level it helps you to cleanse the nadis, hence removing all the blockages from the body, from the pranic body, so that you can go ahead, move ahead in your own spiritual journey. In fact, Nadi Shodhana is given so much relevance in Hatha Yogic texts that it is said that only the practice of Nadi Shodhana can take you to a very advanced spiritual state. The practice of pranayama is not required. Just the proper practice of Nadi Shodhana can give you immense spiritual benefits. So the practitioner has to first establish himself or herself in the practice of Nadi Shodhana. Okay. So these are few benefits that I have talked of. You will find multiple benefits of this practice. It is very easy to introduce. Most people can practice it. And apart from just a blockage in the nose, apart from that, anybody can practice it. As we move ahead, I introduce the practices of various pranayam. You will see that certain people are unable to practice certain pranayams because of the body condition. But Anulom Vilom, Nadi Shodhana, these are certain pre-practices which can be adopted by everyone. Okay, be it a heart patient or high blood pressure, ulcers, all of these things. It is immensely helpful. It has shown to be immensely helpful in various diseases. Okay, so any doubts before we start today's practice? Okay, so I believe that the technique is clear to everyone. Let's go ahead and practice them because that's the best way to experience whatever benefits I have enlisted. So all of you can come in any comfortable sitting posture. Just make sure your back and neck are straight. And then gently close the eyes. start observing the natural flow of the breath. Stay connected to your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. And when you feel ready, you can naturally transcend into the practice of Puraka and Rechaka, where the breath has now become uh, slow, long, and deep, and you are aware of this change. You are aware of this process completely. The mind is totally absorbed. And with each breath, try to deepen your level of awareness, your level of connection, and the overall time taken by one breath. Once again, just ensure that there is no effort when you're doing this. Your breath will naturally become slow, long, and your entire body should be relaxed. And then come back to the breath. First, we are just going to go for the preparatory practice. So, left hand is gently placed on the knee. You can bring your right hand up, hold the first two fingers and place them on the root of the thumb. Or you can go for Vishnu Mudra. Just place the first two fingers on the eyebrow center, and then you can exhale completely. Close the right nostril, and we are going to go for 5 breaths through the left nostril. Just go at the natural pace of the breath. Once you finish the 5 rounds, you can close the left nostril, open the right nostril, and take 5 breaths through the right nostril. Once you complete this practice, you can gently bring your right hand down. Back neck should be straight. Just with closed eyes, observe your breath. Once again, back leg straight. Again, bring the right hand up from the pranayama mudra or the Vishnu mudra. Exhale completely and close the right nostril. We will start the practice of Anulom Vilom. Inhale through the left nostril. Go as per your natural pace. Once the inhalation is complete, gently close the left nostril and open the right nostril. Exhale from the right nostril. Begin to inhale through the right nostril and then close the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. This is one round of Anulom Vilom. Continue your practice and make sure that your inhalation and exhalation is equal. And complete 10 rounds. Going deeper with each round of Anulom Vilom. Go at any pace. And feel the impact of this wonderful practice. And try to release any effort. Just go with the natural pace. Keep practicing and complete 10 rounds. And once you finish the practice, you can relax the right hand, the right shoulder, remain straight. Just feel your breath. See how your mind feels. Very calm, composed, and relaxed. We are going to go for one more round, 5 breaths only. If you're still working on the 10 rounds, continue your practice. If you have completed the 10 rounds, you can go ahead and practice 5 more rounds on the pranayama or Vishnu mudra with the right hand. And then you can exhale completely and begin the practice. Do not force yourself, just go at the natural pace. Long, slow, and deep breaths. Once you complete the 5 breaths, you can go ahead, suspend the practice, start next straight, and just observe. Watch your breath, watch the state of the mind. Join both the palms together in front of the chest and up both the palms together. Keep them on your eyes. Allow your eyes to absorb this heat. One more time. Let's rub both the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. And very slowly while blinking and looking at your palms, just open up your eyes. Any difficulty that anybody faced? Any issue in the practice? Were you able to practice? Did you feel any difference?
I had a question. I wondered about the elbow. It gets very heavy. Can you rest the elbow on something? The
Uh,
right hand.
yeah, you can use the left hand to just support
Oh,
the elbow. Yeah,
yeah.
that will be very helpful for beginning, but eventually you will get used to it.
Okay. And the other thing I noticed was getting quite maybe sleepy. I don't know if sleepy is the word or relaxed. Yeah, is that also normal? Like
Did you get
just
sleepy or did you get relaxed?
a little bit of both. Maybe, yeah, maybe I was just tired anyway, but yeah, I just wondered if that was normal or common.
Yeah, it does happen because sometimes, like for most people, the mind is functioning at a very high pace, and then when
Yeah.
they practice Anulom Vilom, they suddenly feel very relaxed and they do want to sleep sometimes. It does happen, especially if you haven't been able to relax maybe during the day or throughout the day, then before sleeping, if you practice Anulom Vilom, the sleep will be much better. You'll be able to fall asleep easily.
Mm.
So it is a good practice for that
Oh,
time also. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much.
I just want to check because in some point I was like coughing doing the practice. I think I remember you mentioned before that don't do it when you have plugged nose.
Yeah. Blocked nose, then it will be very hard for you. So you will have to force the breath. So
Uh-huh.
right now you would be forcing the breath in when you were practicing. So for that you can either like perform Jal Neti before practicing so that the blockage is removed. Like what sort of blockage do you have?
Sorry.
What sort of blockage do you have? Is it
So
because of cold?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't have, but maybe I think I'm developing it, the black nose or the clogged nose. So so that's why when I'm doing the practice, some point I'm like coughing, like something is blocking the air, you know.
Hmm.
So yes, and then I remember before I think you mentioned don't do it when you have your black nose.
Yeah. So for blocked nose, you can do multiple things, but you have to wait until it gets unblocked.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you
Mm.
can either go for the practice of Jalniti, or you can also, like in previous time also I told that this alternate nostril, you can do it a little bit faster. So you can go for
Okay.
maybe take 5-10 breaths like this, then change the nostril and take 5-10 breaths like this. So this should help you to remove any mucus or blockage that is
You're pumping it. Okay. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you.
like that. Anybody else, any issues, or was everyone able to do it? Okay. No worries. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and practice the second stage tomorrow. So until then, just for tonight, what you can do is you guys are already practicing abdominal breathing, so continue with that practice. But today, what you can do is before going to sleep, you can practice 5 to 10 rounds of Nadi Shodhana. Okay, so you can for a beginner, 10 rounds, 10 to 15 rounds are good. Okay, So beginner level 10-15 rounds is very good. So you can go ahead and practice Anulom Vilom before sleeping 5 to 10 rounds today and see how your sleep changes. You will be able to go in a much relaxed state before you go to sleep. So that is your work for today, and enjoy your weekend. You have tomorrow off, so keep working on the off day also. Like in regard to these practices, don't leave abdominal breathing, Anulom Vilom tomorrow. Do the same thing tomorrow as well before you sleep. Both the practices. Okay. So let's end today's session. Let's close the eyes and we'll chant Om one time, followed by three Shanti. So exhale completely and inhale for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Feel the vibration. Join both the palms together in front of your chest. And let's take out this time to feel grateful for everything we have. Now rub both the palms together and please come on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at the palms, open up your eyes, come back to the big smile. And namaste to everyone. Happy weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday.
Namaste. Thank you, G.
Thank you. Namaste.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.